What's up, guys? We're back here, episode 23 it looks like of the Let's Play series. Let's get into our daily quest. New day has happened here in Archeworld, and we are, oh wow, we've got lots of BSLT, guys. We're up to 11.6, so that means a lot of our stuff sold. That means we are well on our way. Let's take a look at what we have here. The Arc Pass is, I believe, 20 BSLT. So, yep, 20 BSLT. So that's the number that we need to get to, is 20 BSLT. And we do need to keep some of our money in, in BSLT, because as you're noticing, if you're watching this series, you're seeing the money is growing itself. We're buying things, we're selling them, we're using our labor. So we need to replenish our stuff. We're out of labor almost, we're out of Archeum. We need to just start grinding our quest once again and then accumulate these resources. So fabric sold, lumber sold, shadowgun ore sold, and then fabric sold. So very, very cool right there. So let's go get our crops, and then we'll take a look at the auction house to see if there is any, one of our daily quests, supply soil. That's great, we'll do that. So we get that done. So we got 50 Archeum, 100 labor, very, very important. As you can see, that is how we're making our BSLT. Growing crops, converting them, buying things on the auction house and flipping them. Not even flipping them per se, we're buying things on the auction house and then we're converting them into different materials and then selling them. So we're using some labor, we're using our resources that were given for free in the game. And again, this is a 100% free-to-play account, so no money has been spent in this game. I do recommend, though, if you are going to play Archeworld, disregard all this free-to-play stuff and just buy like the starter package. So they have a starter package which is 30 USD and it's 60 BSLT. And the reason I say disregard doing the free-to-play stuff is because, look, we've been doing this for about, what, 15, 16 days now, and we don't even have 60 BSLT. And so if you think about the time that we spent doing this, so we'll say 15 days, and we say we spent 1 hour a day. So that's 15 hours worth of quote-unquote work playing the game as a free-to-play player. Your time is way better off doing a job and earning that 30 USD or 10 USD or 50 USD, whatever amount of money that you earn, unless you are in a super poor country and like 10 USD is like a month's worth of salary. So if you're in any country that makes any amount of USD, relative to like America or Europe, any country that makes, more than like $1 a day, you probably should just buy the BSLT that you need to start the game. You don't have to have it. You could do all this stuff, as Kathy pointed out. It kind of looks like we're having fun doing this, and in a sense we are having a little bit of fun, doing this challenge, but it's not worth the time aspect of it. It is cool. It gives you something to do. It gives you a journey. It gives you a quest, a mission to finish in games. So we have an endpoint. We have okay, we're going to get our house, we're going to get our land, we're going to get our tent. That's the goal. So we have a destination that we are getting to, and everything else is just a story that we're writing along the way. So we are, doing all these things, and this is all building up to that big moment where we get our land and we get our first tent down and we have everything set up there and we're 100% free to play. So building up to that moment, and it's going to be exciting. When we get there, it's going to be really exciting. Will we get there in tomorrow? No, not going to get there tomorrow. Will we get there in a week? Probably not. Will we get there in like 2 weeks? Maybe. That's a chance. Will we get there in a month? Most likely. We'll most likely get there in a month is my guess. So it's going to take a while. It's going to take some hard work, some dedication. So we're going to re-roll this quest because we don't have any grains. So again, got grains. We're going to re-roll that quest. Hey, we got herbs. So perfect. Herbs, 60, boom, boom, 100 labor. And yep. So we're going to be running low on our crops here. So we're down to 14 herbs. We're down to 28 meat. So we just got to constantly come in, log, collect those plants, those crops. Every 8.5 hours is ideal. We're not doing that. We're not doing the ultimate ideal situation here. Next up, we need to get the XP, and then the last one is the mobs, which we're probably not going to get. This is killed 200 mobs. we do have a reroll left that we could do, but let's go do some XP now. Let's go do some questing. So we're back to Yinister. And then we'll also check the auction house. We'll see if there's any good deals to buy on the auction house. So we're going to the community center. We are going to need to buy more Hereafter stones. This is our last Hereafter stone. So we're going to have to spend some of our gold that we've gotten just through simply playing the game. You know, nothing special. And so those are going to cost 45 silver. But we definitely need to make sure that we have a bunch of those because you do a lot of teleporting. Alright, so let's finish up these quests. And this is why we left the quest here last time. So we left the quest here purposely done so that we could come and get free EXP for our dailies today. So we're already starting off at, 10,000 XP in here. Almost done with our quest now. Alright, we got the next quest. And then let's go check out. We need Hereafter stones. So we need to buy it from the merchant. So let's buy like 25 of these. Because you do use a ton of Hereafter stones. So every teleport, like I talked in the last video, is 1 Hereafter stone. Or if you're going cross-continent, it's 3 Hereafter stones. And if you do a lot of cross-continent travel, that adds up really, really quick. Alright, so let's take a look at these materials. So skiing was very valuable yesterday. So 0.02. Let's see how much processed fabric is. Oh yeah, that's a pretty good return on your investment right there. So let's go ahead and buy those guys. There's only 70 of them, but still, that works out. We could buy a little bit more, but it starts getting more expensive, so let's hold off on that. Let's go process these things and then sell that fabric. Because it's going to cost us about 0.11 to craft this. And then we're going to sell it for 0.15. So that's a 0.04 profit right there. And we do have a little bit of labor. You can see we have 548 labor still. Yep, we still got some ore up there. Alright, so let's take a look at the next thing. So log into lumber. So log is 0.011, and then lumber is not worth it, so 0.05. So you're actually losing money by making logs into lumber, because it takes 5 to convert into 1, and then let's go into ore. So there's some grains here. So one of these days, we'll probably end up buying some of these materials that we need for our daily quest, because you can see we can buy a whole bunch of them for a very small amount of BSLT. So we can buy 200 of the grain for 1.3 BSLT. And we don't have any grains. So that might be worthwhile to convert into, materials for our daily quest. So once we start running out of these materials, it's like we're almost out of the strong scented herbs. We'll start thinking, is it worthwhile to buy these for BSLT to have for our daily quest or not? But right now, we've been doing well. We've been harvesting our crops, and we've been getting what we need out of our crops. So it's 0.01 for ore, and then 0.07. So there's a slight amount of money that can be made on these. So it's going to take you 0.055, and then you're going to sell it for 0.07. With the auction house fee of 10%, it goes down to 0.063. So you're looking at a very small profit margin there. The profit margin on the skiing is just so much better. I think there it's almost 10 times better to craft the skiing and to sell it into fabric. So let's go ahead and list these guys now. And so the lowest listed price is 15. Okay, so let's go do that. Let's put them in a stack of... We actually have 19 of these, so we could put them in a smaller stack. So let's put them in a smaller stack here. So something to put them in a stack. You shift right click or shift left click, and that'll give you up this quantity. So let's go 7. And see if we can put them up for this. Okay. So if we put them up for 7 at 0.157, I think that's a pretty solid price. It's still going to be on page number 1. It's right here. Yep, there's 14. Yep. So that would be a good solid price right there. So it's page 1. It's a very small quantity. And we'll go do this one more time. And there we go. We do have some ore that we have processed, but I don't think we want to list it up on the auction house right now. The ore price is kind of on the low side, so we can just hold on to this. I gotta feed the cat real quick. So that looks to be it here, and now we're off to quest. So we're going over here into this mine, and so I've only been in this mine very, like a long time ago, like years ago. Because this is something that you normally just don't do. Like, you don't do this area as a paid player. Collect 5 fragments from barrels. Okay. Again, you don't have to do all these quests. Oh, so we need a bunch of those. So I do kind of actually want to head over here and get the green quest, because we'll get some infusions, which then we can start building up some of our armor. Because when we do that, our combat level will go up pretty significant. So even just taking all these tier 1 guys, tier 1 armors, and taking the tier 2 will give us a nice power boost. You see this one has 434 combat power equipment score, and these standard ones have 197. So if we convert them all up, we're going to get double the power on those things, which should increase our combat level. But I mean, these quests are going to chain and take us all the way over here, so we'll see what happens. We should be pretty fine. We're 27, so these monsters are about level 30. And I touched upon too, the other thing that we might want to do is we want to buy one more skill book so we get the 6th passive ability, and that will greatly increase our damage. But there is quite a few quests here. So this one's 11,000 EXP2 for this quest, and this one I hear 5,000. So I mean, it looks like we're going to gain a bunch of XP here. So let's just keep going on. But again, it's always about, there's tons and tons of choices. And you can play however which way you want. That's one of the cool things about a sandbox game like this, is there's, you know, honestly, tons and tons of different choices that you can make, and there isn't no one definite, like, correct way to play the game. You can play however you want. We touched upon this before. If you wanted to simply do no quests at all, just grind mobs, you can totally do that. If you want to do every single quest in the game, you can totally do that too. Alright, so throw the lever on the pump. There's another pump down there. I wonder if we could break the other egg. I'm gonna try and kill both of them with a skewer. And so you'll notice that the quest giver has a question mark over his head. That's an early completion, so we can go back to him. And we can actually turn this quest in early. We don't have to completely do it all. So that's a tip, that if you weren't here earlier, you may have missed out. Like, you can turn things in early. You get a little bit less gold reward, but other than that, nothing else happens. So you still get the full amount of XP, so still 5,600. The only downside to doing that is it doesn't tell you, like your quest won't tell you, but like this is where the NPC is to turn your quest in. So if you don't know where the NPC is, you're gonna have a hard time like, where do I go? And see, skewer is just so nice, like, you know, almost killed these guys in one hit. Another thing that we've touched on before is like killing mobs. Killing a lot of mobs will get you bonus EXP. So if we kill a whole bunch of mobs, we start AoE farming, for example, we can get bonus EXP for, you know, just kind of thinning out the herds. So we need to go back this way. And it looks like we're done with this cave here. And now it's sending us way over here. I mean, just because we're done with the quest, there's still more to explore in the cave too. So if you want, and you have never played Archeworld or ArcAge before, you know, it might be a good idea just to explore the world and see what's out there. The game is, you know, is massive, as you can see. There's a lot of cool, unique things in the world. So me personally, I'm actually just going to go for the green story quest right now. I will come back and do the other one later. I want to get some more infusions, so that's where I'm going to head over this way. This is not going to give me infusions right this second, but I think the next one will give me some infusions. It also gives us some labor as well. And then as we are running over to this, I think we're going to check to see how much skill books are. You know, none of our skill books have actually sold. So let's go Vitalism. Oops. So we could buy Mend. We could buy 3 of them for 1 BSLT. Let's see. So we need Fervent Healing or we need Mend. I mean, we could also try and just gamble and open up skill boxes. Because I think we actually need both of them. Let me see. No, actually we can get a antithesis to level up. So antithesis, mend, or fervent healing. And so if we can buy 3 mend and then we use one and then try and sell the other 2 for 1 BSLT, it'd be almost free. Or we can try the skill book. We can attempt to RNG our way into the skills that we need. They are 0.1 for each. You know, personally, I like the RNG. But we may not get the skill we want, which would be bad. But the more skill books that we have, the easier it might be to sell some of our skill books that we have. So, I'm gonna go back there. And then you see all these quests over here. Tons and tons of quests. We'll eventually get back here and do these. Still no more infusions yet. But let's go RNG these skill books. So we can spend 1.8 or we can spend 2.1. Or we could just spend like 1 BSLT. Which one should we do, guys? So there's 10 skill trees, there's 4 skill books each, so that's 40. If we buy 16, there's a good chance that we get the skill that we need, I think. It's so hard, so difficult, because if we just hold on, we'll guarantee to get our skill book that we need via the Arc Pass. So in 3 days or 4 days or so, we'll be able to get a skill box here for 2 that we need. So it's probably more right to just wait and hold off, like build up our BSLT. We just need 20. We just need 10 more BSLT. I really want to just gamble. And so this is where choices come in. Like, do you gamble? Do you go for it? Or do you just wait? I mean, we can gamble. We can get absolutely nothing. Nothing that we need for our character. And so we can teleport over here just to speed things up. So I think we're not going to gamble right now. And everything here is, you know, totally unplanned. You know, this is all just live. So my thoughts, 100% live. So that's why it's like back and forth, like, what did we do? So this is their teaching about the world gates. So now we're going over to Halsey. And still no infusions yet, unfortunately. So we need to do one more quest. So we'll be coming back and grabbing these basic quests. We're just really hunting for infusions right now. And then there's the other choice of just buying a bunch of infusions on the auction house. So once again, it goes back to choices. Like, do we buy infusions? Do we buy skill books? You'll notice we can even just buy I think it's the purple ones for 1 BSLT. It does cost 4 labor to open these though. It's a little bit more expensive. We don't need that much wasted labor. The blue ones will cost us 3 labor, and then the grand ones will cost us, should be 2 labor. It's only 1 labor on the grand ones. So labor wise, it would be better to buy the grand ones. But EXP wise, it's way better to buy the purple ones. So again, back to that choices. Choices, choices, choices. So many different choices that you have in this game. What decisions do you make? And that determines the outcome of, you know, how much money do you make? How much profit do you make? How strong your character is? All the choices that you make determine what happens to you. And it creates your story. So we leveled up, and then now this next one, we are going to get infusions. We're finally going to get some infusions. So let's just keep going. Let's get those infusions. And we are done. So as we get down there, we will call it quits for today. I don't know if I'm going to log back on to collect my crops later tonight or not. We'll determine that later today. So we get another upgrade scroll. We also get 24 labor and infusions. So 6 of the green ones should be able to increase, I think, 6 of our armor all the way up. I think the green ones give enough EXP to level that. So you also notice that too, like this zone is pretty empty right now. There's not that many new players coming into the game, so you don't have to worry too much about PvP. You just see tons and tons of quests. And unfortunately, that's also a bad thing, so it makes it hard to get the kill quest. So kill 200 mobs is actually really easy in this zone if the game is populated in the beginning of the server, and then there's a lot of people leveling up and questing. So then you just raid up, and then you can get all these kills very, very simple and easy. But right now, the kill quests are very, very hard to do because it's going to be just simply you killing 200 mobs. There will still be some players, obviously, as we saw in prior videos. We are able to party up and group up with a couple people, get the kill quest done, but it's just not like people on people on people on people. There's just not people everywhere in the world. The people are out farming the raid bosses. So you'll see there's just all these public raids. There's 6 public raids up here, and they're all full pretty much. 50, 50, 50, 50. So you got hundreds of people doing raid battles, trying to make that moolah, trying to make that BSLT. Because in the raid battles, you earn Archeum cores. In cores, you get shards, and then you also get the full cores, which are worth about 100 BSLT right now for the blue one. The purple ones are rare. They come from the actual bosses, and same thing with the yellow ones. Yeah, so now the decision here has kind of been like, okay, we're going to go and rush the green storyline quest because we're semi-strong. We'll go get all our gear. We'll upgrade everything that we need to upgrade, get stronger, and then we'll come back and then do the basic quest to gain the EXP. All right, so we are here. We're gonna log off for now, so we're ready to gain EXP. Actually, we'll get the checkpoint here. Because I think we might go gather crops again later tonight. I haven't decided whether I'm gonna log on later. Get the checkpoint. And then, yep, we will call it quits. Thanks for watching, guys. This is the Let's Play series, 100% free to play. We are very, very close to getting the Arc Pass here, which is a very, very big, powerful thing that you definitely want as a free to play player. And we are in trouble. We're gonna die. See if we can run away. We ran away. We survived. Yep, and that's the war status right there. So people will fight you. This is a PvP game, and we will log off over here. We're gonna hide in the shack. Can we get in there? Oh, I really want to hide in the shack. I don't think we can get in the shack. Alright, we'll hide behind the hay. Alright guys, I will talk to you guys later. Thanks for watching as always.